so I'm just gonna. The house is gonna hear you.
Well, we're recording right now. We are live on social media this second. So,
Awesome.
guys, we are going to start the show, and we are going to do it right now. All right, we are live off topic back sports page. We're back. Oh my God, it's Jose Padilla. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, we're back.
Oh, it's amazing. It's
Regular,
amazing.
regular sports talk radio with Jose and Randy. This hasn't been done since 2013.
Has it been that sooner? Is it this soon
it's
already?
It's been, yeah. I was going to say that long. You jerk. You jerk. Anyway, we're off topic on the air right now. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube. That's where we are live right now through Back Sports Page's Facebook page. And, of course, my Facebook page. And we're on live on YouTube. Jose, my friend, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, how's everything going, dude?
I figure why not? We should share our sports conversations that we've been having on the phone
God.
with the world. And we should.
Are we allowed to?
Yeah, you should hear. We'll hear your jaded opinion. You'll hear my jaded opinion, even though mine's right. And
it is jaded. Yeah, yours is always right. No, it is jaded though. I gotta tell you, I feel like I enjoy sports more now as I did when we were younger because I feel like I've gotten this appreciation. The only thing that ruins it for me is like just seeing. I guess it's true what they say. When you're on Twitter, don't read the comments. Just avoid the comments.
They should have a disclaimer on Twitter. Sports Twitter, please be careful when you read this garbage. That's what I think it should be.
It's amazing how many athletes it's truly the case of like the perpetual child who always wants things their way, and immediately though when they get called out on their nonsense is when they act like big babies. They want to be treated like adults, but when they get called out, they act like children, and basically like the kid who takes their ball and goes away because, well, I'm not dealing with this anymore. So the hell are you guys?
also known as LeBron James.
I wasn't even going there.
Now, look, at the end of the day, and I mean this with love towards LeBron, I have no problem with LeBron anymore. Look, at the end of the day,
anymore.
Well,
do that in, you jerk.
Look, at the end of the day, dude. Look, I think LeBron, poor LeBron, and I mean that like with all sincerity when I say poor LeBron. But like, you look at what has happened with LeBron James, and where he is, he's not even. Not only is he not in the centerpiece of what's going on in the NBA right now, he's been home for over a month and a half, which is pretty crazy when you think about it.
You know, here's the thing. If you're the Lakers, you got a title out of it. Like, I mean, so everything else is just gravy or
no, you don't want your legacy. You don't want your legacy to be you're supposed to be the best player in the NBA, and the tail end of your career, you can't even make the playoffs with a stacked team. With a team with all that talent. That's unacceptable. Don't give me that.
The best player on that team right now probably is Anthony Davis. And the thing is that the guy's never around. Statistically, LeBron James had a great year. There's no denying that, statistically. But there's a bunch of nobodies on that team. Plus, he had the whole issue with Russell Westbrook, who basically got the coach fired. But they fired the coach because of Russell Westbrook. But they don't even want Russell Westbrook on the team.
Well,
so
yeah.
It makes no sense.
You know what's amazing on how we haven't been on the air since 2013 together, and we're opening up with a team that's not even in the playoffs, and it was just not even a conversation right now.
Yeah, usually it's the Knicks.
And we'll do that now. Okay, so about the Knicks. No, just kidding. Real quick, let's jump in. Let's do some local stuff for us. Let's do some New York stuff first. Obviously, the basketball teams have been off for a little while. The Nets eliminated round one of the playoffs. Knicks didn't make it in. We can jump into the NBA playoffs in a minute. So we'll jump over before we jump into football. Let's take a look at the baseball. Your New York Mets, first place NL East, baby. Celebrate, Jose. But then again, we all been here before. It is May and the Mets are in first place. Check back in August. The collapse usually happens around mid-July.
I think this year though is different.
I agree with you.
This year I think it is different. You have an adult running the team. I think the front office is stable. Now let me be fair. That's actually not against Luis Rojas. That's actually on Callaway. I'm referring to Callaway. I will die on this hill. I think Rojas got a really bad deal. I think he got put in a really bad situation where I think the team was expected to do well. Young guy, young manager, really managing the minors. I honestly think like this guy, when he gets another chance, and I think he will, you're gonna see that he's gonna be a really good manager. It's almost in the same sense of Joe Judge, which I'm sure we can talk about that in another time or even later. But to me, I always felt Rojas got the raw end of the deal on this. That being said, though, now you have one of the supreme managers in baseball, and Buck Showalter running the show right now, and everything just feels different.
Yeah, well, listen, Showalter has had success everywhere he has gone. Okay, you have to keep that in mind when look, he made the Orioles relevant. Okay, that says something. Because the Orioles don't become relevant. It doesn't happen.
They became irrelevant when he left.
Exactly. And I think that's the one thing you have to look. If you want to talk about an impact of a manager or a coach, don't look at them what they're doing when they're there. Look at where they are after they leave. Then again, you can make the same type of argument for Rick Carlisle, who left Dallas, and look at Dallas. Dallas is further than they've been for the last few years. Maybe they needed a new voice. Maybe they needed to have a coach that can relate to their superstar a little bit more. You never know.
Carlisle and Luka really got along.
I don't think so either.
And look, we all know Luka's a top 5, top 10 star in the league. But sometimes guys just don't mesh well.
No, I agree with you. No, look. I'm not to go back to the NBA, but I just had to use that as an example.
Yeah.
But like you look at that, and then you look across town. You look what the Yankees are doing. We all remember the beginning of the season. There was panic mode from the beginning. Like, what are the Yankees doing? Yeah. I think everything is fine in the Bronx right now. I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, you know what? They're doing it with their pitching, and that's at the forefront. The problem is, though, at some point, the bats are going to have to start waking up. Here's the other issue, though, and this can't be ignored. The pitching has been good for a while now, the last few years. It's always been the offense. Because even when they get into the playoffs, though, you got to remember, they got a guy who's supposed to be an ace who's not really an ace.
Oh, Cole's been terrible.
I mean, he's been better lately, but he's not really he's not a dominant number one. He hasn't been good. When people talk about DeGrom when he's healthy and Cole and it's not even close. When DeGrom is healthy, it's the best pitcher in baseball, bar none. Now, we got to see what happens when he gets back, if he gets back, because that's another story. But then you still have Max Scherzer. I would take Max Scherzer right now over Garrett Cole, and it's not even close. So I think if the Yankees, they should make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, that's a bigger issue. They should make the playoffs. It's what they do in the playoffs. That's what's going to determine the success. But right now, the bats have been a little bit better over the last few days, but still nothing to, write home about.
Nothing like it's been for the last 3 years. It's certainly not nothing like it's been for the last few years.
But here, let's just hit the elephant in the room here. What are you doing with Judge?
Exactly. Well, no, that is going to take care of himself because he decided to gamble on himself. Judge decided.
Are you giving him an 8-year, $40 million contract?
I am not giving him. I don't want to give him $20 million a year. I don't want to give him popcorn. And, look, at the end of the day, he's betting on himself. If he has a monster year, he can go back to the Yankees and tell him to stick it because he should have gotten the offer in the beginning because he has been the most recognized. Because, look, you're not just paying – I hate to say this, but for guys that are team leaders and team captains and so on and so forth, you are paying a guy for also what he does off the field and how he represents the team. And that's something that you have to consider. And Judge has done a very good job of that. He just wants to be rewarded with that. But if you're the Yankees, you have a certain amount of responsibility to try and not have a $500 million payroll every single year, too. Yeah. So that's the real quick, Jose. Let's go over do the scoreboard really quickly because I want to try and do this on a daily basis. So we can do the scoreboard. Scoreboard is brought to you by BackSportsPage.com and Cave Talk Radio. We talked about the Yankees. Yankees 5-3 winner over Toronto today in the Bronx. I think Cincinnati and Milwaukee decided to play football instead of baseball today. They had 14-11 final in Cincinnati. Pittsburgh over the Dodgers 5-3. Right now, bottom of the first, the San Diego Padres over the Chicago Cubs. San Francisco and Colorado scoreless in bottom of the third. And Philadelphia, Seattle, bottom of the third, scoreless as well. Miami up on Arizona 3-0, top of the third. Later on tonight, you have the Mets in Washington, Tampa, and the Angels, Oakland and Detroit, Boston and Atlanta, Baltimore, St. Louis, Kansas City, and Texas, Houston, and Minnesota. So, with that being said right now, let's jump back into the NBA and discuss what is going on with these playoff series. What do you think so far? What do you see for tonight?
Nothing is catching my attention anymore with any of this stuff, unfortunately. I mean, yesterday was 2 really bad games. I think tonight we're going to have far better games. I'm interested in what's going to happen in that Boston-Milwaukee series today, because this is Game 5, I believe, correct? On that?
Yep.
So, I'm going to make the prediction right now. And I know this is really bad. Whoever wins tonight is winning the series. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah, I hate to admit that too, but the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, I said it earlier today. You just we're from New York, we just hate the Celtics. I don't know why. No, look, with all due respect, I really appreciate I think the Celtics so far have shown the best camaraderie and the most teamwork in the Eastern Conference somewhere. You look at them, they've been playing like a team where it's all for one and all for all. I thought I woke up in 2012 the other day when I saw Al Horford at 24 points. That woke me up, and that made me feel a little off it. But look, the Celtics are the Celtics, man. Like, they're always going to be in this conversation. The champions are the champions until they're out, whether they have Chris Middleton on that. And I don't bet against them. I really don't bet against the Bucks tonight. Even though they're in Boston, it's hostile territory. If you're going to go every other game, you're asking the Bucks to win 3 games in Boston.
Yeah,
that's
I don't think that's impossible. I actually don't think that's impossible, especially in today's day and age of sports. I don't think that's necessarily impossible. I just have a feeling whoever wins tonight is going to pull out the series one way or the other. Now, getting on to what I think most people would say is a more marquee matchup, but that's everyone's opinion. You got Golden State and Memphis, and we all know Ja's out. He's out for the rest of the playoffs regardless. So to me, I think Golden State's just going to take this. I know they played well without him. I think they were 18-2 this year without Ja, but I think Golden State's just too good. They're going to see the blood in the water. They're going to snuff him out tonight. Despite, my perpetual hatred of Draymond Green's attitude, but the guy gets it. I mean, look, Draymond Green's the guy that basically, if he's on your team, you love him. If he's not, you just can't stand the guy. I don't want to say hate because it's all in good fun in sports, but you can't deal with the guy when he's not on your team. He's the Sean Avery of basketball, if you will.
All right, so real quick, because we're against the clock, we're only going to come on for a few minutes today. We'll do football tomorrow. We'll try and get on tomorrow, you and I. Real quick, so pick the 2 playoff wins, the playoff games for tonight. You have Milwaukee, Boston, and Memphis and Golden State. Go.
Going Golden State plus over 10-point victory tonight. And I'm going to shock you. Milwaukee, nail biter, winning by 3.
Okay, I'm not going to put a spread on it because you know me with spreads. I just hate it. I'm going to go Milwaukee because they were embarrassed at home. That was an embarrassing loss. You can't be up 10 in the fourth quarter and then drop that lead. And I'm not saying that Memphis can't win tonight, but even if it win tonight, you're prolonging the agony of a Game 6 loss. Yeah. So I think a good win for Memphis tonight to pull it out at home to give their audience a little bit more. Hey guys, follow Off Topic through backsportspage.com. I'm going to try and be back on a daily basis doing these shows, whether it's with Jose or one of the other guests from Backsportspage. But check out backsportspage.com. Follow us on all your podcast platforms. Until then, he's Jose Padilla, Angry Jose 15. I'm Randy Zelliot, Randy BSP, and we will see you next time here on Off Topic.